What's up everybody, Brian Tong here. You've probably seen some of these videos. We're doing a little bit of recap of 2025, and this video, we're gonna talk about, what's in my pocket? Yeah, the iPhone, because let's be real here, phones from any manufacturer, we're at a point where things have kind of plateaued. These are very mature products. How much more can you pack into this? I mean, if you listen to rumors, maybe you don't pack in more, maybe you make it thinner in size and pack less because people want a different form factor. People are searching for what can kind of invigorate and kickstart iPhone excitement again. And look, I think one thing before we get into this is people take for granted this. I think people really take for granted how powerful a tool this is. Whether it's something as simple as me taking a photo or even like doing an eBay transaction on a mobile device and being able to get it shipped out and paid for. Like, come on, let's not take what these powerful mini computers do for granted, but I get it. Yes, we want more. We're consumers. We want the newest and the latest tech. So let's talk about the iPhone and in 2025. Now we know that there's reports of the iPhone lineup being a standard iPhone 17, and instead of a Plus model, there being a 17 Air, which would be essentially a thinner iPhone, less battery, not as feature rich as a Pro model, maybe a single camera, still Face ID and whatnot, but I look at this phone without a case and it's nice. Now, somewhere 5 to 6 millimeters, I think we got that thin back in the iPhone 6. It's nice, but for a pro user like me, who's used to all the versatility of the cameras and the fidelity, it's hard for me to say that I want a 17 Air. I'm completely intrigued by the fact that I know when I pick it up, I'm like, oh, it's so light, oh, it feels so awesome. And then on a day-to-day, I'm gonna be like, where's my Pro? But Apple has to do something to mix it up right now in the current state. The Plus hasn't been moving the needle enough in sales. So will this 17 Air do something? I think, I've said this before, Apple now, we're at the point where the iPhone is really more like a car lineup where Apple's gonna start creating different phones that serve different use cases, and the iPhone 17 Air is really gonna put that idea and that philosophy to the test. Now, if you look at, we'll have the Pro models and they'll be great, right? We won't see anything majorly drastically change, but everyone has been touting, where is a foldable iPhone? No one's saying I'm not hearing a lot of people say, I want a foldable iPhone. I'm hearing people say, when is Apple going to make a foldable phone? And the reason I position it that way is I don't think a foldable iPhone, although it will generate interest, it'll generate headlines, there will be people that want to buy a foldable iPhone. As it stands right now, I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference. And what I mean by that is we've seen the foldable phone market. It is fun, it is exciting. I'm not gonna call them a gimmick. They do have utility. Would I want a slim iPhone that folds in half, that fits in my pocket, that I can span? Yes, I would, but do I have to have one? This is the new, will this really get me to buy a new iPhone? I think the general audience, because we're creatures of habit, I'm not thinking about the techie, I'm thinking about the general consumer. This is still gonna be the form factor that resonates with them. There will be a spark in interest, but as of 2024, December, I'll put it on the record, a foldable iPhone is intriguing, but I don't think it's gonna make that significant of a difference to its bottom line. I think it becomes, like I said, when you talk about a car lineup, it becomes another one of these phones that serves a purpose. We're at a point where there's phone saturation is there. People might change between models now, but they're not changing between ecosystems. And bottom line is, maybe they make more margins off a product like that. It is say, oh, Apple has a foldable. I look at this and it sounds silly to say, are we at the point where we kind of have a perfect phone other than maybe getting better battery life? I'm kind of saying we're kind of at the point where we have a perfect phone. So in 2025, what would I like to see from Apple? Let's go there. It has to be, what is Apple Intelligence really doing for me, okay? We showed off, and if you check out my video on iOS 18.2, I broke it down and I was honest with y'all. I don't really use Genmojis personally. I don't really use Image Playground. I use writing tools here and there. And ChatGPT can be useful if you're that type of user. Really, it comes down to right now, writing tools and ChatGPT integration, which are the most useful pieces. Now, Apple said personal context, app intents. This phone really kind of being an extension of your brain with all the data here. That has to be actually seen and realized. They can talk about it, but we need to actually experience it and feel it. It didn't come in 2024. We don't know exactly when it's coming in 2025. That is gonna be the key for me. It's the software in 2025 and the true final end game for what Apple Intelligence can be to really be an extension of our brain. That is what's gonna make the iPhone special to me next year. And if it doesn't, because right now it feels like, what has Apple Intelligence really offered? Some new features, but how many of you are using it? Series Glow is cool, but without personal context, Series Glow is kind of just a glow. Yes, we have a few, you can tap into Apple's knowledge base. Yes, I can make a mistake and it corrects it, but that is not fundamentally changing what we have here. And so 2025, it's all about software and not the hardware, and we'll see how that all plays out.